Hey, people, it's Stephanie Stevens here. Thank you guys so much for joining me here on Pronoun TV and the Stephanie Stevens Show. Tonight is confession time. As you guys know, I would say, in the last 10 years, I'm going to explain to you in a few simple words what I've been going through. I'm doing rather well now. About 4 years, almost 4 years ago, I started having sudden symptoms of, I always had a headache and I didn't know what was driving this headache. So eventually I went to the doctor and he told me my blood pressure was too high. And he said also, at the time I was very skinny. So he says, you have to, back then I didn't eat meat. So he says, you have to start gaining some weight. And we don't know why your blood pressure is so high. So, to make a long story short, I fell in my kitchen and I woke up in the hospital. Thank God for my superintendent at the time. I was talking to her earlier on in the day and she just kept checking on me and checking on me. And I told her that I wasn't feeling well. So she kept checking on me, and then the next morning she found me unconscious on the floor in my kitchen. Now, I spent over a month and a half in St. Mike's Hospital with this stroke. I didn't know who I was, I didn't know where I was, I didn't know anything. During the time, I was in there almost 3 months. At the time, I wasn't able to, I didn't realize who I was. I didn't realize where I was, what was actually happening with me. But eventually everything started coming back. I spent another month in ICU where they thought I wasn't going to make it. All because they said that I had 3 strokes and they didn't expect me to live. So I wanted to explain to you something that I think needs to be heard and to help a lot of other people. When your body tells you something, listen to it. Listen to your body. Listen to it. I lost my place, everything. Yes, I ended up homeless. I didn't end up homeless because I didn't pay my rent or because I didn't have money. I ended up homeless because I was in the hospital. And eventually, my superintendent, they kept trying to get a hold of me. They even tried to get a hold of me at the hospital. But because I didn't have my cell phone, no nothing, I lost my place. So I became homeless. I ended up in a homeless shelter for men with not really knowing what was really happening with me as I started to recuperate. But to make a long story short, sometimes people that are around you are not good people. Even some of the queens and some of the people you think are your best friends around you are your worst enemies. And for a long time there, after I recuperated, got myself together, I'm going to be honest, it wasn't the LGBT community that came to my aid. It was a straight community that came to my aid. But it was a LGBT member that worked at the shelter that actually orchestrated me getting back on my feet. So I'm not going to say his name here, but him, and another one of the counselors there, they put a real foot forward to help me. And he told me, he says, I knew who you were. And he told me, he said he was actually shocked that I was actually in the shelter. Because he used to see me working at all of the bars on Church Street, so he knew that I was a responsible person. I always had a place to live, but he was kind of shocked at how I fell into the shelter system. Listen, I've never done a drug in my life. I know you guys won't believe that because I've been around the Queens all my life and I've been around the world. I have never done a drug in my life. I smoked weed with my brother when I was 17. My father made us eat the bag, you know, those brown paper bags. When we used to come in the brown paper bag with the plastic bag stuff, my father broke the bag in half and shoved it in both me and my brother's mouth and made us eat it raw. I never did anything ever after that. I've never smoked a joint or none of that kind of stuff. So, but I do drink. And I've never smoked cigarettes in my life. Most people don't even believe this, but that's okay. Now, the point of my story is this. Sometimes your own community is your worst enemy. Sometimes your own race is your worst enemy. Now, I heard many rumors, many rumors about me being homeless, but it's so strange. The shelter that I was at is only right up the street from the gay community where I lived and resided, and everybody knew where I was. Nobody came to see me but 3 or 4 people. Even when they knew I was being rehabilitated and I was doing well, they didn't even reach out to offer me a booking or nothing. They didn't even bring me a sandwich. They didn't even bring me a coat. They didn't even offer to help me in any way. But yet they were the first ones to run their mouths saying that she's homeless. She's homeless. That's all they could say. They found so much of a conversation that it became the gossip of the community. I was actually shocked that they would actually do me like that. But I realized Toronto's gay community is is a I hate to say this our community is nasty. It's a nasty community and continues to this day. I see a lot of people lashing out now because they've woken up to the reality of this community. Now, I'm not going to say everybody is that bad in the community, but the majority of the queens and the people here are nasty, and it's almost like a cycle of just hate and bitterness, jealousy, and it's just something that I don't understand. And I've been fighting with it ever since I came to Canada, whether it was me creating events that the bar owners or the bar managers or the people who own the bars and the clubs didn't like, or just the fact that I was black and I was pushing something new and innovative, more forward for the progression of the trans community or the drag community. I don't know what it was or what it is, but at the end of the day, I survived. I survived because I wanted to survive. And I survived with the help of 2 to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people that brought me my doctors who took very good care of me at St. Mike's. I take my wig off to them all the time. They took care of me, even when I didn't know who I was. They took care of me, brought me back to health. The people at the shelter system, the guys there who helped orchestrate, making sure that I got my phone on, made sure I got my housing back, made sure I got back on my feet, made sure that I was stable enough to where I could function to be on my own. Because the doctor said that, if you don't gain any weight, you're gonna have a massive stroke and you need to put some weight on. So this is why I'm heavier than I am. So I'm blessed now that because it took a long time for me even to put this much weight on. So I'm thankful to the doctors at St. Mike's. I also want to say that I'm not here to bash our community, but we need to do better. We need to do better in Toronto. This community is toxic beyond belief, and we need to do better. But, I'm moving on. I'm moving on to bigger and better things with the support system of the mere determination of some, God's willing. I'm not name dropping, but some celebrities reached out to me and told me what I'm doing is a good thing. And I need to do this, and this, and try to make this all work. So I just want to say thank you to the gentleman who really pushed me. He didn't even know me, and he pushed me. He kept saying, you should be doing this. Focus on this. Focus on this. You'll be okay. And in return, I kept telling him about my little story about I was in the hospital and all this stuff. He said, just stay strong and keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Don't look behind you. Don't look behind you. And I thought to myself, I'm not going to look behind me anymore. I'm moving forward. So I just want to say to you guys, be careful who you hang around. Be careful who you surround yourself with. Just be mindful of who say they are your friends and your so-called associates. Be careful. So now I just keep to myself and I'm doing my thing and I'm doing very well. So you guys look forward to new things coming in the future from Stephanie Stevens. And thank you guys so much for who always supported me and for some of the people that didn't even know what was going on with me. But one thing I will never, ever forget is the fact that those two people in that shelter system really pushed to put me back on my feet and to make sure that I was in a safe place, a nice place, and secure. And then I was able to take over my finances and do everything and get my life back. So look out. That sewing machine is about to be burning up, y'all. And I hear from my agent that there's lots of great opportunities. So out of all this darkness that came out of my life, the will to live and just the mere fact of strangers helping you, because you never know who's watching you. Strangers helping you, making sure that you're going to be okay. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. And to the celebrity that pushed me and continued to push me until I started getting in front of the camera. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And on that note, I want to just say in a positive way of light, a positive light, stay strong, stay healthy, surround yourself with good people, and realize everybody in your community is not bad. But sometimes you have to really open your eyes, because when you become comfortable in your community or your surroundings, you might miss some things. So don't miss things. Keep your eyes open. So with that, I'm keeping my eyes wide open and moving forward. So thank you guys so much. I hope that was my, early evening confession to you. I'm Stephanie Stevens. Thank you guys so much for joining me here on Pronoun TV and the Stephanie Stevens Show. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. We have a lot coming to you. We're in no hurry to make all of this happen. We know it's going to happen, but we're in no hurry. So step by step. So feel free to comment, share, like. I'll share your stuff as well. So thank you guys. I hope you're enjoying the cooking shows, the game shows. We have a lot more coming. So thank you. Thank you. And also, I'm looking for bookings. I'm open to work. I need to work too. So you guys can always contact me at misstoronto@hotmail.com or complex5, the word 5, at hotmail.com, or you can contact my agent, Nick Folks, at 416-458-3988. Thanks, everybody, and have a great week. And I hope I've taught you a little something. Be strong and wise. Keep your eyes open and keep moving forward. Thank you.